Okay. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Say how about you?
I'm doing very well. How about your Sunday? How was your Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday was you can say like a fun day, but it is not like a fun day because I have a lot of things to do, and yeah, I rest a lot.
Okay. Nice to
Yeah,
hear that. So, do you have any topics for discussing?
yes, sure. We have a topic that the topic is how to think in English and stop translating in our head.
Okay, thinking English is really important because it helps us to get fluency in this language easily. So for that, we have to just describe the things, whatever we see. And we get lots of problem while because sometimes we don't know the object's name in English. So we struggle to think in English. Yeah, it is valid. I totally agree with it because I have also faced the same things in my life while developing the habit of thinking in English. But it comes by just by time over time, but we have to keep practicing. For that, you have to describe the picture, you have to make a habit of describing the pictures. And you can see all that in kitchen and in household work, house chores you do work like as a girl, so you can describe those things as well. And you are like in work profession, all the things you see around us, so you should try your best to describe. When you start to describe the things, so you will develop the thing, you will develop the habit of thinking in English. And I have second point as well in my mind is journaling. Journaling is also really important because it also help in two ways. It help us in two ways for stopping overthinking. We do overthinking a lot, so it was also help us to remove our negative thinking. And as well as it also improve our sentence formation. Yeah, that's something I can say.
Yeah, sounds great. You have explained everything in a well manner. So yeah, first of all, we have to switch in English. That means we have to immerse yourself in English. Whatever we do, for example, whatever we read. Earlier, my native language is Hindi, so mostly rarely I read any content in English. Sorry, in Hindi. Since I think childhood, only subject material I read in Hindi, which is necessary. Otherwise, mostly content I read in English. So first of all, we have to do one thing, that we have to immerse yourself in English language. Switch in language. We switch in language everything in English. Like whatever we read, just try to read in English. Everything means books, magazines, newspaper, whatever we read. So we have to read in English. Second thing, we have to change the language. For example, mostly we like to watch movies, cartoons, televisions, whatever. So try to watch in English language. That will help to help to think in English, because whenever we uh, consume the self, so whatever we consume, it work like a input, and our output will be the same. For example, sometimes it's happened, if you watch something and while making conversation, that word come automatically in our you know in our so the things it happen when we immerse yourself in English. The second one you can do, for example, we have to speak aloud, speak loud out, like means whenever you have to speak, whenever we have to read, try to read aloud. Means whenever we read, it's help to, whenever we read also we listen the sounds, the pronunciation. So it's the best way. If you read anything aloud, so it's help to think in English. Whenever we read, we keep in mind that yeah, I have read something. So that's the second point I always follow. Whenever I read, I try to read aloud. And third one, we can, so like using image, very well, there is a one quote: image is more than thousand one image is more than thousand word. So really, whenever you see the image, you can imagine that by looking that image, you can create a lot of sentences. Even in IELTS exam, that when if you want to go in UK, US for a study purpose, first of all, you have to clear IELTS exam. In IELTS exam, there will be a test based of reading, writing, speaking, listening. And if you get the good marks, it will be better. You so in IELTS exam also, you will get in question paper one image, and just looking that image, you have to make sentences, multiple sentences, whatever you think. So yeah, it's also helpful whenever we see any image we can create a lot of sentences in English. So it's help to imagine and our mind to think and create the sentences words in English. And fourth one you can see like in our daily activity. For example, we have to change our environment means whatever. For example, look at it around yourself. For in my you can say I in my in in near there is a lot of things like there is a books, papers, diary, and pen, bottle,
Right.
and yeah, there is a lot of the things around myself. So I can try to call all the things in English. If I don't know, I will try to find out the word. So it is the best way
Yeah.
to think. We have to so us we have to see around our room. That means lot of the things you can see, and mostly things in English. But sometimes you can see like some things you don't know in English. So you need to translate, and maybe you can use diary, dictionary, whatever. So it is the best way. At the beginning, it will be difficult to find the meaning in English, but once it will be very easy, and it is really necessary to think in English. And the fifth one you can do like we should avoid translating means whatever we learn. For example, we are going to learn new concept, so we have to learn in English language only. Mostly in India, even our education system, they try to teach in Hindi to English. Even we are learning English, but we thinking we are, even our teacher, they try to explain all the thing in Hindi. So it's not good. But if you are going to learn any new concept, so try to learn in English only English, not in Hindi. Maybe it will create some problem while when you want to explain the same thing in your native language, because you have never studied that thing in your native language. But it is necessary to be learn any new concept in English. So right now, whatever I watch any content, whenever I read anything or any concept I read or I learn, I try to learn in English only. So it's helped
Mm.
to build the concept, sentences, everything in English. So it's a really importance, but it create one barrier. Whenever you try to explain the same thing in Hindi or any native language, your native language, if you feel like you don't know anything, even the words, sentences, how to describe in your native language, so it's create barrier. But it's okay. Even I'm a teacher, so whenever even my students, they don't know a lot of sentences or lot of words in Hindi, because they have learned everything in English. Because it is English medium, so mostly we focus on English language. So it's happened. Even you ask the thing in Hindi, they will never answer, because they never know what is the meaning in Hindi. So it's happened. But it doesn't matter. If you don't know in Hindi, it's okay. And the next thing we can do, we can use the diary. Diary means generals. That means you can write whatever we do, whatever we done in daily basis, whatever do, like I get up at morning and I study 2 hours for something like that, and we have went for college or a school, whenever, wherever, and then I came back, and today class was very fantastic, something like that. Whatever you want to like to write, you can write in English. So it helps to create a structure sentence. Already you have mentioned to use the journal or diary, both are the same. And we can think second, sorry, next one we can do like a talk to native speaker. So I always try to find out the native speaker. So it is really helpful, because whenever I talk to native speaker, I know the pronunciation, how to use. Just say for example, they I focus on accent and stress. For example, native speaker say, we Indians say water, but native speaker say water. We Indians say biology, and native speaker say biology. We say science, and native speaker say science. So it is the way, they, if they focus on the stress, where we have to speak a lot and slow. So it is a good way, because why native speaker could English very fast. The reason behind they use connectors and the natural way to speak English. So same thing we have to follow. So to talk with native speaker really necessary. Even I am focusing on learning an American accent, that's why I need to talk with American. So yeah, region. And next we have to be, we need to be patience, because to switch in English for 24 hour, or maybe for every time whenever I think, even I will dream in English, so it need a lot of time. we suddenly we can't switch in English, and
Mm.
whenever we switch we feel like it will be create difficulty. Even we want to speak in English but we don't know the words and sentences. But it is good if we struggle to find out the right word, right sentences. So it help to find out the right sentences, right word. Even we can use diary, dictionary, whatever. But next time whenever we are going to speak also, yeah, speak and think, so it will be help a lot. So that,
Mm.
yeah,
It
we
is.
have to use these all things to think in English. And think in English really matters. When I was a beginner I was thinking that how can I think in English. Really it is very difficult. But now, right now, whatever I speak, if you think in English, need to you don't need to worry about whenever you speak English. Because whenever we speak English we speak directly without translating in our mind that I want to say something, how I can say, which translation rule I have to use. No, we don't focus on the translation rule. We speak whatever we think in our mind. Right now we are talking, so we are talking fluently without thinking about what I have to say, what translation rule, what rules and regulation I have to use. No. So the reason
Exactly.
behind we think in English, yeah, we are not perfect in thinking,
But in
but
the
definitely
beginning time we are
yeah,
translating, it's fine in the beginning time. When we just are we are intermediate level, so we should go for English to English only for developing this habit.
yeah, definitely. And the reason behind we can we can think, yeah, we can't think a lot, but yeah, we can think. That's the reason behind we never use translation while talking to any random guys, or yeah, talking to any person. So thinking is necessary, but when we start thinking 24 hour or 12 hour, so it will be really good. But we can't do, because we live in the society environment. There are a lot of people that talk or speak in native language, their native language like Hindi something. So it's the region.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, all points is nice, sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to follow, and it is really necessary when we think, because all about our mind is a our mind is like a main part or body. Whatever we think, we can deliver. So if we think negativity, our body, everything will work negativity. If we think positive, we can do everything in a positive way. The same thing we have to apply learning languages. If we think in English, so definitely we, next time when we have to speak, we speak in English.
Mm. Right,
Yeah.
that's nice.
So okay, so one more question I want to ask you: do you speak English in real life? That means when you meet to your friends or anybody, do you speak in real life?
No, I don't speak in my real life. Only in my smartphone I use like I speak in English only. I have made the environment in my is like in my phone. Like I talk to ChatGPT as well as online. I talk a lot in English, but in my real offline, I don't get any such people to speak in English.
Yeah, same thing. Even in online, in virtual way, I have a lot of confidence. You can see I talk with a lot of native speaker too. Even I have friends from other part of the world, so I don't have any kind of hesitation or problem. I don't have any kind of lack of confidence. I have a full confidence to talk in virtual, but in real life, I don't have
Yeah, it happened
experience.
to me. I tried to speak in my it's speak in English real life, but I was feeling very hesitation under confidence. But still, I show my courage and just speak because I have to remove my hesitation. So then, yeah, there was someone who was speaking, and he was not good at English, but still he was trying to understand me. So I was feeling very grateful. I was feeling cloud on nine while explaining in my speaking in English everything whatever I wanna say him, and I was speaking English totally. So I was cloud on nine that I'm able to speak in real life.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We have to try to speak in our society with our friends, family members, and doesn't matter whoever. So we have to talk with, because ultimately in real life, why we are learning, because we have to use this language in real life.
We have to connect with people by this language.
Yeah. So
Any
do you have
words
any
from you?
more topic?
So I wanna ask you one thing that you connect so many people, even though native speakers from different countries. So what? what is the most difficult things you just get while communicating them?
I face actually, I don't face any kind of problem because whenever I talk to any native speaker, I talk only normal. It was a normal. It is normal conversation. That means how to learn English, the daily activities, something like that. But I face some problem. Once upon a time, I was talking with one native speaker, and we have chosen one topic that is business because I belong from business background. Like means my major is accounts and finance. So we started to talking about business, so they start to using some different kind of sentence, a vocabulary. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
happened.
There is a
Yeah, I don't understand that vocabulary, and I was asking what is the mean of that thing. So it's happened because they
yeah.
whenever I talk in any random topic which is not familiar, and even sometimes we are familiar but still sometimes they use unfamiliar word.
Yeah.
But I'm very, I don't feel any shyness whenever I find any new word. I simply ask what does it means, and they told me that it does mean is like, so it. And we should whenever we talk to any random guys, we should not ignore. If you don't know the meaning of that word, just simply we need to ask, because there is a lot of word to know all or
Exactly.
each words is not possible.
So we know all the words, right? It's impossible. Even though in our mother tongue we don't know lots of words.
Yeah.
When we travel, when we do traveling, so we get to know that there is such word we don't know still this word. But when the more we explore ourselves, discover ourselves, so we get to know so much words.
Yeah, definitely. Even whenever I sometimes I like to uh, watch some blogs made by native speakers. So they use a lot of new words. So even at that time, I have to understand by their expression or like facial expression, whatever they are doing, because they are using in
Yes.
English, and they are not using in Hindi that I could understand instantly. I need to understand what they try to speak, what they try to explain. But is a good way whenever we watch any blogs in English by the native speakers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's very helpful. We get to know so many words by watching vlogs.
Yeah,
I think it's been long time we are discussing, right?
yeah, we can wind up this session.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so bye. It is
Bye.
nice talking to you.
Yeah, yeah, same here. It was really nice to talk to you.
Okay,
Okay,
bye.
bye.